It's your boy. I found the whistle. There's your boy MC. Subscribe down there. And let's get this show started. Well, 3 days ago, announcement came out on some tariffs, and I showed y'all a video a while back. So hopefully when this video ends, and one of them captions, it might lead y'all back to the first tariff video I did. So this one is on the tariff of Hyundai, the $21 billion announcement that Trump made, and it's going to bring back some jobs and car manufacturing plants. Check that out. I still got it in the package, y'all. Yeah. So over the course of a few years, it ain't gonna happen right away, but it's a whole lot of jobs that's gonna come in. And I want y'all to see this announcement, because these cats are straight up businessmen, and I guess they want to just get their feet in the mud. And I believe it will be in Louisiana. So fair use on this decision to stimulate our economy with bringing back these manufacturing jobs. So like I showed y'all in the first video on tariffs, it's fair exchange, no robbery. So y'all gonna see that right on the thumbnail. So please, I hope I don't do no struggle screaming out of no sir. So this first video that I wanted to get to is the main video. And the main video, it better be this video. I'm making sure. And here it is. I go back to the top. And it's right here. Is this one? Yeah, that's the one. Let's look at the roll call, y'all. Get ready for the roll call. So we're going to have a roll call first. Fair use. And I'm going to invite my other guests up to give y'all a brief discussion of what's going on. And let's get this show started. And it's going right here. I'm going to blow it up, baby. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, we have a beautiful announcement to make. It's very exciting. Money is pouring in, and we want to keep it that way. And I think that's what's going to happen. We have tremendous interest in our country, more than ever before. There's never been anything like it. We're almost at a $4 trillion level, and that's something that's never happened. And I think hopefully it's because of the election on November 5th, but it's also because of tariffs, I suspect, Governor. But I'm thrilled to welcome Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a friend of mine for a long time.
Roll call.
And to have you at the White House. And we thought this was going to happen. And I said, if you get it signed up, we'll do it at the White House. And you got it all done. I'm proud of you. Not surprised. Executive Chairman of Hyundai Motor Group, Jung E-sun. Thank you very much. What a great honor. Vice Chairman Jay Chang. Jay, thank you. Hyundai Steel President Soo Gang-hyun. Thank you very much, President. That's big stuff.
President.
And former Ambassador Sung Kim. Thank you very much. Great honor to have all of you. Also, and these names are much less difficult for me, but I think we got them right. But this one we will definitely get right. Mike Johnson, our great speaker, and he's been doing a real job. Right, Mike? It's an easy job, isn't it? House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Steve, doing all right, Steve. I'll tell you, he went through a lot, and he's stronger than ever. Louisiana Speaker Philip Duvalier. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Senate President Cameron Henry. State Representative Ken Brass. State Senator Eddie Lambert,
brother.
and Ascension Parish President Clint Cointment. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Great honor. Great to have you with us. Today, we're delighted to report that Hyundai is announcing a major $5.8 billion investment in American manufacturing. In particular, Hyundai will be building a brand new steel plant in Louisiana, which will produce more than 2.7 million metric tons of steel a year, creating more than 1,400 jobs for American steelworkers. And then there'll be major expansion after that. This will be Hyundai's first ever steel mill in the United States, one of the largest companies in the world, by the way, supplying steel for its auto parts and auto plants in Alabama and Georgia, which will soon produce more than 1 million American-made cars every single year. The cars are coming into this country at levels never seen before. Get ready. This investment is a clear demonstration that tariffs very strongly work, and I hope other things also, but the tariffs are bringing them in at levels that have not been witnessed. Hyundai will be producing steel in America and making its cars in America, and as a result, they'll not have to pay any tariffs. You know, there are no tariffs if you make your product in America, so it's something that's why so many people are coming. As you know, we have from Taiwan, the biggest chip manufacturer in the world, is coming in with $200 billion, and we have a lot of people coming and plants coming and companies coming that never would have been here, never would have even thought about it. The new steel plant in Louisiana is part of an even larger $21 billion investment Hyundai will be making in the United States over the next couple of years. The company will also be massively increasing its auto manufacturing in Georgia and investing billions of dollars in advanced American technology companies. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask the executive chairman to say a few words, and it's a great honor to have Hyundai, a truly great company. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Now check that out. See, basically what I'm saying, this is about straight up business. I mean, not only they finna build, but you get now, you know, you're still gonna pay some sort of tax or something, but you get a chance to build, create jobs, and not snuff us out with trading, importing, and exporting. So if you come here, you're importing. You're importing and you're stimulating our economy. So fair use, feel free. I would like to thank the Mint channel for you know, putting this stream out there. So, you know, let's listen to this part of the sermon. I ain't gonna go all the way through with it, but this is Useum Chang, Hyundai's chairman.
To speak here today, and thank you for the invitation. And congratulations on the remarkable start to your new term.
It's been good.
All right. So Hyundai Motor entered the U.S. 1986. Since then, we have invested over $20 billion and now support more than 570,000 American jobs across all 50 states. Today, I'm pleased to announce an additional $21 billion in a new investment over the next 4 years, our largest U.S. invest ever. A key part of this commitment is our $6 billion investment to strengthen the U.S. supply chain from steel and parts to automobiles. We are especially excited about Hyundai Steel's multi-billion investment in a new facility in Louisiana, which will create 1,300 American jobs and serve as the foundation for a more self-reliant and secure automotive supply chain in the U.S. To mark this milestone.
So we're hearing it straight from the source. So it's going to be a lot of jobs. Now, according to, like, you know, what I don't like the way the landscape and the array of like the news media and the hype and then you got one media gang banging on another network like, oh, he always going over there to Fox or somewhere or PBS, and this is like straight like it's like it's like straight up straight up sit tripping, flip flopping, and then even though we see the actual announcement, it's going to be a lot of news out there to move the goalposts, to make a mirage about what we say. What does MC mean by a mirage? A mirage is like, will there be jobs out there, adequate jobs for people that share my complexion, my son's complexion, my friend's complexion? See, and this is what I don't like about the array of when we get our news sources and slideshows and clips, like I showed y'all in some of my videos, to where it would basically discourage individuals for going to Hyundai to apply for jobs. Because what we see there is we see a group of people, and the majority of them don't share Black American, just people in the general. But the way this administration is moving, it's like the best qualified, the best fit. So, let's look at it a little bit more. I know I may be rambling, but I just wanted to just basically just go on and let y'all know that it's going to be some discouraging, chaotic things down the pipe. Even though we heard the announcement, we heard the numbers, and they sound good. So the results of tariffs does things like this. And I'm going to see if I can get back in on where I was when I first showed y'all that tariff video. And this is the guy that did that first one. So let me hope this channel don't say nothing. And it's going to be right in here. And then this is the part. See? So let me bring this up real quick. Do y'all remember when I did this screen during World War II? This one.
And a sanction to say, if you F with us, I'm going to use this tariff and sanction. You best not F with us and bring those jobs back to America. Are you willing to do that? Then let's talk. If not, we don't. By the way, steel industry. In the 40s and 50s, we were the ones running the world, steel industry. Employees left and right working the steel industry. 700,000 people in America were working in the steel industry in the 50s. You know what that number is today? It's number 140. How the hell do we go from 700,000 people that take care of their wives and their kids to 140,000? You may say, I don't work in the steel industry. Who gives a shit? Go to Pittsburgh and see what they're doing. Hence, Pittsburgh Steelers. Whatever industry you're in, if it directly impacted you, would you not be upset about it? Imagine how upset they are. By the way, if I ask you right now, of the top 15 steel industry companies in the world, how many companies of ours are in the top 15? What would you say? 5? Would you say 10? 8? Where do you think we're ranked? You think one of our steel companies is in the top 3? We're probably number 1, right? Take a look at this list. Here's as of 2022, top 15 crude steel producers worldwide. Number 1, guess where it's at? China. Number 2, Luxembourg. Number 3, China. Number 4, Japan. Number 5, China. Number 6, China. Number 7, South Korea. Number 8, China. Number 9, China. Number 10, India. Number 11, China. Number 12, China. Number 13, China. Number 14, Japan. Number 15, India. And guess who's number 16? US. We used to rule the world in steel. What happened? Oh, we gave the business out because it was cheaper. And we went from 700,000 hard-working Americans supporting their wives and their kids to 140,000. Go explain that to 560,000 people that were working in that industry, and now those jobs are in China. You know how many of the companies out of the top 15 are China? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 15. Are you competitive? Do you like to lose? I don't like to lose. Are you?
And I don't like that either. So what is everybody talking about? Feel free to go over there and check that video out. It will really hit you. Check the video out. The first one I did on Tariff, and it was explain the rest. So, I'm just not trying to keep y'all up all night, but let's get back to the fair use of things. And let's see what our boy said that's on the other show. And this is Brother Anton. And he watched the other clip from another channel. And hopefully I won't be struggle screaming with that there, but man. That's a lot of steel manufacturing, don't y'all think? So we're going to check out this. So Trump is putting that 25% tariff on cars. Let's first see if what the first one's on. Fair use. Amen. Yeah.
And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe, and frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest.
I like that.
What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff. We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at.
And fair use. So let's move it up and see what else is going on. All right.
The thing we are trying, we have the Speaker of the House with us who's doing a fantastic job. And where's Mike? And we're trying to get approved. Mike, thank you very much for being here. We're trying to get approved, if we can. If you borrow money to buy a car, you're allowed to deduct interest payments for purposes of income tax, but only if the car is made in America. So if the car is made in America, you get a loan, you can deduct the interest. That's a big saving. A lot of people in that part of the world, in terms of buying cars, a lot of them don't think in terms of deductions. People that think in terms of deductions are very wealthy people, but people are going to start understanding what a good deduction is all about. So when you...
So in other words, let me stop it right there. In other words, not only if you buy a car or certain items, what Trump is saying here, you're going to be learning business. Basically, business one-on-one. So you heard what he said. You're going to learn how good deductions are when you buy a car, especially from America, but a foreign one. Those pretty Porsches and Mercedes-Benzes, if they're not made here, you won't get no deduction. And I know somebody out there getting smart and acting crazy. And like, oh, you think we need to understand? No, some people will miss it. But your tax man shouldn't miss it. A tax man or woman. So, let's get back to some more of the fair use of this.
You get a loan to buy a car, and I think it's going to pay for itself. I don't think there's any cost. I think you're going to have so many cars built, but you're only going to get that deduction of interest if the car is made in the United States of America. So I'm going to sign this, and Mike, I hope you can get that, because I think it's going to be amazing in terms of the number of cars that are going to be made because of it. And I want to thank Howard Lutnick, our fabulous commerce chairman. That's what he is. He's a chairman. He's a very successful guy.
So, man, I want to hear what is. Let's listen to what Anton take us on. I'm just trying
For decades. So
it's right about here.
And I think it's going to have a very positive, and it's about making America great again, making it strong and prosperous again. Thank you very much.
So basically, in a nutshell, I think that Trump pretty much explained it. But in a nutshell, what he's saying is that we're taking a bi-level approach, right? In the first phase, obviously with the tariffs, what it does is it first protects the auto industry here in the United States of America because we're very profitable for other countries. The second thing that it does is it creates a ton. And when I say ton, I think tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of construction jobs with the amount of plants and the amount of things that we're basically going to be building so that we can create way more American jobs and we protect our industries that's already existing. As he indicated, there are plants that already are under capacity. And so there's a lot of cars, a lot of manufacturers that's outside of the United States of America that build here in America or assemble here in America. And they'll be able to raise the capacity, which protects jobs, gives overtime, and it creates new jobs for people that are looking to get in the industry. The next thing that it does is it also protects our industries as far as steel and aluminum, and it'll allow for them to ramp up. But while these jobs, and we're creating new construction jobs, and then long term, you're creating new manufacturing jobs, while these jobs are being spun up, what we're also doing is making money off the tariffs themselves because we are the largest consuming nation in the world. We are the piggy bank. We are the ones that everybody is getting the money from. And so instead of everybody siphoning off and taking advantage of the United States of America, now we bolster our own industries. We become self-reliant. We build more jobs. We also don't allow for other countries that are tariffing us and do charge us to not only manufacture but sell cars in their country. We now get to lower the prices over a longer period of time while actually boosting our ability to be able to spend and buy. So we make all of ourselves richer. We don't allow for everybody else to continue to take advantage of us. And longer term, you boost the economy for your children, your friends, and you allow for capitalism to really take its course because now you have choices of whether or not you want to buy internal combustion engine cars, hybrid cars, or electric cars.
And I'm going to leave it right there. So fair use, go over there and check out some brother Anton content. I mean, he was revving it up during like last year with the immigration, the Kamala Harris, some of the tracking and stuff. And I mean, like, boy, fair use, but it's like he said something on capitalism. And then I wanted to break something off. And I'm going to show this video right now because it's real funny because it's like the rhetoric and the language to make it look like, ooh, capitalism is easy, evil, Knievel type of, spooky stuff to be spooked off of. That stuff he's a capitalist. And if you're saying that should make someone think like, like on all like when people used to watch All in the Family, like if I'm dealing with a commie or whatever that stuff is, but some shows they may say, oh, these are Marxist ideologies and concepts. And you see, when he said that we be able to capitalize. What did he mean by that? And then we're going to go over here to this homeboy because he's going to break it down and give you a better one than you know who, AOC. Because AOC cracks me up. This is her take. Check out what her take is going to be. This is going to be super fair to you.
Capitalism isn't, to me, it's an ideology of capital. It puts capital, the most important thing is the concentration of capital, and it means that we seek and prioritize profit and the accumulation of money.
Notice she said, to me. That means she know darn well that she's saying some BS. That means to me. She know darn well. She's smart enough to know that she's saying some BS. And this is going to be the Dems' next leader, maybe a running mate, or maybe, man, come on.
Above all else, and we seek it at any human and environmental cost. That is what that means. And to me, that ideology is not sustainable and cannot be redeemed.
Let me start with something I've said for years. People who think they can remake the world to suit their visions usually end up breaking it instead. Ms. Ocasio-Cortez's statement is a textbook example of that, a stew of buzzwords and moral posturing that collapses under the weight of facts and history. She's not describing capitalism. She's caricaturing it, and badly. Let's take this apart piece by piece because there's too much ignorance here to let it slide.
Yeah.
First, she calls capitalism an ideology of capital that prioritizes profit above all else. That's a slogan, not an analysis. Capitalism isn't about worshiping money. It's about voluntary exchange. People trade goods, services, and ideas because both sides benefit, not because someone's hoarding a pile of gold. Wealth isn't concentrated like some cosmic injustice. It's created. Take Henry Ford. He didn't steal his fortune. He built cars millions could afford, revolutionizing transportation and employing thousands. Or look at Steve Jobs. Apple's innovations didn't concentrate wealth. They generated it, lifting living standards worldwide. The World Bank says global extreme poverty fell from 36% in 1990 to under 10% by 2019. Over 1 billion people lifted up, not by socialism's promises, but by markets spreading opportunity. Compare that to Venezuela. Under socialist rule since 1999, GDP per capita crashed over 60% by 2020. Inflation hit 1.7 million% in 2018.
And that's why a lot of the Venezuelans was here. Get it? Because they went to socialism. And what we were doing with that last administration, we went to extreme social gingeralism, ideal indoctrination, construct. I mean, it was a long word that we went through. So what was she talking about? Yeah, she was misconstruing, moving the goalposts, revamping.
And people starved while oil wealth vanished. That's not sustainability. That's collapse. She says capitalism seeks profit at any human and environmental cost. That's another myth. Greed exists in every system. Socialism just redirects it to power instead of money. Capitalists profit by meeting demands, not destroying lives. The U.S. went from 94% extreme poverty in 1800 to 1% today because markets drove innovation, electricity, medicine, sanitation, not because of government edicts. Socialist regimes, the Soviet Union's ROC shrank 90% from forced irrigation schemes.
So, that's about it, but go over there and check out this video. Sooner or later, I'm going to know how to bring all of this stuff up. I know we've been up here for 29 minutes. I really was trying to do it faster than that. And I'm going to do one more tariff one, maybe tomorrow. The other part I wanted to do today, and until then, wait a minute, I'm not going to leave. Let me blow the whistle on that. I blow the whistle on myself. One quickie one, and it will be fair use. And I'm not going to leave out value taming because darn, they're on the thumbnail. Oh, well, he was on the first one, but I want to get this other part out the way because when they got the news, it hit them like, We got to see this other car company. That's why I didn't want to end it real quick. So just hold on for a minute. Maybe a commercial is coming on right now, but you have to check this part out. Check this part out, boy. Check this part out. This is going to be value taming.
Trump tariff response. Rolls-Royce planning to shift production to U.S. to avoid Trump tariffs. Report. Okay, so let's see what's going on here, guys. I got three handful of charts I want to show you with this. That is charts. Oh, let me tell you, these charts that Brandon found. I have to show you this, and credit goes to him finding these charts, but they're insane. All right, let's read this. British engineering firm Rolls-Royce is planning to boost U.S. production to dodge President Donald Trump's tariffs, per London's Daily Telegraph. A source told the paper, if you are making something in countries like China, then you'll be looking at whether you can do it in the U.S. instead. The company, known for aerospace and defense, may shift from China, Canada, Mexico, where it employs around 6,000 workers, and even from the UK and Europe if tariffs hit. A Rolls-Royce spokesperson said, "We have additional capacity with some of our U.S. operations and continuously seek to explore options to ensure that our global internal supply chain is optimized for delivery to customers in the U.S. The U.S. is vital for Rolls-Royce, making up a third of its global sales, with key clients like U.S. Department of Defense, Boeing, Lockheed Martin. Last year, it earned, $7 billion in North America versus $3.36 billion in UK and $8.4 billion in Europe. You got to realize, most people, when we think about Rolls-Royce, what do we think about? Cars.
Of course.
But that's what they're famous for making.
Oh, wow. That's the number one thing?
The engines they make on planes, they'll say, we have a Rolls-Royce engine on
I didn't
a plane.
know that.
Yes,
That's
but we
sick.
think about the cars.
Engines for warplanes. These aren't just
Tom,
engines.
There's
These
a couple other stories, but I'll just turn it over to you. Tom, your thoughts on this here?
Well, first of all, this is a sign that the tariffs are working.
Bingo.
So we're trying to get it balanced. And Rolls-Royce says, I'll tell you what, I ship a lot of engines to the Department of Defense, and they ship key clients like Boeing and Lockheed. Oh, those are engines going to our defense contractors. And Lockheed Martin, don't forget Martin. And so tariffs are working. And what's also interesting related to this is if you take a look, there's also a Wall Street Journal report. Now, this was Breitbart, and then there was an FT story. Then there was a Wall Street Journal story. So everybody's saying the same things. And no one wants to say the simple headline, tariffs are working. Now, Wall Street Journal being very negative. The biggest auto losers in Trump's trade war so far, luxury brands. And they go on to say that the BMW 3 Series, blah, 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 blah. And they put all these stats out of poor BMW. And then, Audi's Q5 SUV, poor Audi. Wait a minute. What German car maker is left out of that list? We got BMW. We got Audi. Where's Mercedes? I'll tell you where Mercedes is. You know where Mercedes is? They're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where they invested in the U.S. years ago, and they build the GLE, the GLS, GLE, and all of their electric vehicles, the EQS and EQE. It's their number one factory in the world outside of the core factory they have in Germany.
So they won't be facing no tariffs. Get it? They won't be facing no consequences for not providing jobs here. So that's what that means. Now, Wall Street Journal, that's rather odd because Rolls-Royce already put out their announcement, and then we're getting no kudos. Have anybody heard any kudos about this on the news or CNN? Think about it. What you're basically getting here, and until then, let's get the tail end of this.
And 60% of what they make in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, is exported around the world with 16,000 American jobs. So guess what? The tariffs are working, and somebody like Mercedes is like, well, I've been here forever. This really doesn't bother me because I've been employing American workers, and I'm exporting Mercedes around the world. And so what Rolls-Royce is doing is great, and that's the proper response to say, look, our customers over in the U.S., why don't we make our stuff there? And everything
that
else.
Makes sense. So until then, check out this video, enjoy it. And I'm going to try to do a real quick mini one before I get my rest. And then with that like that, I would like to say. See y'all real soon.